I threw away my gym membership card and bought 2 double cheeseburgers. I spent 3 years living in a house that felt more like a training camp than a home. My girlfriend Sarah became obsessed with biohacking back in 2023. It started with blue light glasses and ended with a kitchen that looked like a laboratory. Every morning at 5 a.m., the blender would roar to life with some concoction of kale, pea protein, and supplements that smelled like a wet basement. We had a whiteboard on the fridge tracking our macros, our sleep cycles, and our daily step counts. If I wanted a snack, I had to log it in a shared spreadsheet first. Sarah was radiant. She had boundless energy and looked like she was carved out of marble. I was miserable. I was down 60 pounds and my clothes fit perfectly, but I felt like a ghost inhabiting a very efficient machine. I missed the grease. I missed the salt. Most of all, I missed the feeling of eating something just because it tasted good, not because it had the right ratio of nitrogen to fiber. I started my secret life on a rainy Tuesday in November. Sarah was at her advanced hot yoga session, which usually lasted 90 minutes. I told her I was going for a meditative walk to clear my head. Instead, I drove 3 blocks over to a hole-in-the-wall burger joint called Big Al's. I sat in my car in the far corner of the parking lot with the engine running and the heater blasting. I ordered 2 double cheeseburgers, a large fry, and a chocolate shake. The first bite was almost spiritual. I could feel the processed cheese coating my soul. I ate like a man who had been stranded on a desert island for a decade. I was terrified the whole time. I kept checking my rearview mirror, half expecting Sarah to pull up in her electric SUV and catch me mid-chew. When I finished, I used 3 wet wipes to scrub every trace of salt from my fingers and face. I sprayed the car with heavy-duty air freshener and buried the greasy bag deep in a public dumpster at the park. When I got home, Sarah was drinking a glass of filtered water with lemon. She asked how my walk was. I told her it was refreshing and that I felt very centered. I felt like a criminal. But that night, for the first time in years, I slept without dreaming about pizza. The walks became a routine. Twice a month, I would find a reason to be out of the house for an hour. Sometimes I told her I was at the library. Sometimes I said I was helping a friend move furniture. Each time, I would find a different fast food place. I became an expert at hiding the evidence. I kept a spare shirt in the trunk of my car in case I spilled any sauce. I chewed 3 pieces of peppermint gum before walking through the front door. I even started carrying a bag of gym clothes around so it looked like I was burning extra calories. The pressure of the lie started to get to me. Sarah would praise my dedication at dinner while we chewed on unseasoned tilapia and steamed broccoli. She told me she was so proud of how we had conquered our cravings together. She said our relationship was stronger because we shared the same discipline. I would just nod and swallow another bite of dry fish, thinking about the spicy chicken sandwich I had consumed in a dark parking lot 48 hours earlier. The breaking point happened last Friday. I was sitting in the driveway in my car, finishing off a box of 10-piece nuggets. I thought Sarah was still at her marathon training group. I was dipping a nugget into honey mustard when the passenger door suddenly opened. I nearly choked. Sarah sat down in the seat and looked at the half-empty box of nuggets sitting on the center console. I waited for the lecture. I waited for her to tell me I was sabotaging my health and lying to the person I loved. I prepared a whole speech about how I couldn't live on seeds and stems anymore. I was ready to tell her that I was moving out if I couldn't have a taco once in a while. Instead, Sarah reached into her gym bag and pulled out a crumpled bag of salt and vinegar chips. She took a handful and shoved them into her mouth. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and asked if I had any nuggets left. We sat there in the driveway for an hour, passing the honey mustard back and forth. She told me she had been hiding bags of chips in her spare tire well for nearly a year. She said she felt like a failure every time she ate one, but she couldn't stop. We had been 2 people living in the same house, both starving and both terrified of letting the other one down. We had turned our health into a performance and our home into a stage. We went inside and wiped the whiteboard clean. I took the digital scale and put it in the back of the pantry, behind the flour. We didn't throw away the vegetables, but we did go to the store and buy a real loaf of bread and some full-fat butter. We still go to the gym, but we go because we want to feel strong, not because we are chasing some impossible standard on an app. We realized that being fit was pointless if we were too stressed to enjoy a meal together. Now, on Tuesday nights, we don't go for secret walks. We walk down the street to the bistro. We sit in the front window where everyone can see us, and we order the largest pasta dish on the menu. There are no spreadsheets, no logs, and no secrets. Just 2 people eating dinner and finally feeling full. Full story on the channel, link below.